friends, it's Kayla Moran, and welcome back to the Let's Get Candid podcast. Happy Thursday. How is everybody doing? I'm so excited to be back on the mic with you guys. You know, this is like a therapy session for me, and there's been a lot of feelings the last few weeks, especially the last week, and I just wanted to share them with you all, and I'm going to be doing a solo episode this week because there's just so much to chat about. And it's Sunday night. I was doing homework. I shot some really exciting content for a partnership I have coming up. I did a try-on haul. For Abercrombie and a little bit of an unboxing. I've done laundry. I cooked. It's been a mishmash of a day. It's actually been a really good day though. You know, I slept in yesterday after going out 2 nights in a row, and then today I got up early and hit the ground running, and there's something about waking up early and being productive before noon that really just does something for me, and I absolutely love it. And I also got to have coffee with a 1L that she's not like an official mentee in any capacity, but you know, just knowing that she looks up to me and that I can be there for her and a mentor for her and inspiration for her just really makes me all warm and fuzzy. And I recorded a podcast episode with her, so that'll be going up next week, and I'm really excited for you guys to hear that conversation. Had some really great conversations with one of my actual mentees. Him and I got breakfast on Thursday, and just a really great mentor session, friendly catch up, and just chatting about life and law school. And I chatted with another one of my mentees, similar conversation, but not super formal. We were at the bar. We were supposed to get coffee on Friday, but just didn't work out. Neither of us were up for the challenge at 8 a.m. on a Friday after going out the night before. But yeah, there's so many conversations that I've been having lately about law school and about academia in general, and I kind of sort of accidentally started an academia series here on the podcast. So last week's episode, this episode, and the next 2 at least episodes are gonna be all about academia and different types of academia, mainly grad programs, but I would love to eventually have some undergrad related topics on the podcast. That would be really cool. But really fast, wanted to do a suck and sweet of the week. My suck of the week is that it's cold. I think that's going to be mine for the next few weeks. It's really cold. It did snow on Friday night, which was cool. It was really pretty. Just flurries, nothing crazy. There's a lot of salt on the roads, so thankfully, you know, no slipping and sliding. The snow didn't stick. But yeah, it's cold. I will say though, I prefer the snow over rain when it's cold any day. So there is that, and it's nice to layer up and wear cute outfits, but 90% of the time I'm looking like a homeless person in sweats because it's so cold and I'm running to class and I'm usually running late. My sweet of the week, I'm trying to think. Honestly, I think after having a intense week of emotions, my sweet of the week is just that I had a really good day yesterday and today. Just focusing on me, taking care of things around the apartment, running errands, cleaning, laundry, groceries, getting to, you know, go shoot content, chat with someone, get coffee, get out of the apartment today, try on fun clothes, put on makeup, get some great pics in. Like, this weekend has been a really good weekend, and Thursday was a little bit of a rough day for me. So it was nice to have a friendly night out on Friday with a few friends, chill night, went dancing, had a good time, and then a weekend just to myself. Even though a lot of it was spent doing homework, and I stayed up late last night doing homework until midnight, and I just finished homework like 2 hours ago tonight. And it took me like 3 hours to do, but that's mainly because I take a lot of breaks in between. I really need to be better about that. But yeah, it was a good weekend. So I think my sweet of the week is that, even though this week was intense, it ended up being a pretty good week. And I did a lot of mentorship and connection building and conversations with people this week. And I'm a social human. I love talking to people and connecting with people and, being a resource and a friend and a mentor and being there for people and making an impact and inspiring people. And getting to do that today or this week has been really, really great for me as a person. So yeah, I wanted to jump into the topic of this episode. And if you saw the title, you would know that it's all about things I've learned while I've been in law school, what I've learned so far, what law school has taught me so far. And this is going to be about myself, about law school, about the world, all sorts of things. But I've been really wanting to do this episode, and I think it's a timely episode because I am officially in my final semester. And it's absolutely insane that I'm saying that because a year ago, I truly never thought that I would be at this point, that I would be here, that I would be this close to graduation. And I'm just really proud of myself for, growing and becoming, evolving into the person that I am today. And I would not be nearly half of that person, honestly, if I had not come to law school. At the time that I did, at the school that I did during COVID, and done it the exact way that I did it, truly. This week I kind of got in my head and got very, I don't even think introspective is the right word, although I was very introspective this week. I just got really in my head and just very downward spiral on, wishing I would have done things differently in law school, wishing I would have approached things differently, wishing I would have prioritized other things than what I did prioritize, and focusing on what those outcomes would have been. But in reality, the way that I did it was perfect for me, and my therapist reminded me of that. And I've been working on reminding myself of that the last few days and just really being grateful for the opportunity I had to come to law school in Tennessee, even though the plan was never to stay in Tennessee permanently. It was never the plan to be here long term. But I'm really glad that I chose this school because I've been tested so much the last 3 years. We all have with COVID. But law school added a whole nother layer to it. And when I came to law school, I didn't know I had had trauma. And I talk about that in my wellness episode, episode 4, I think. So go listen to that one if you haven't already. But I didn't know I had trauma coming into law school, specifically the trauma from the year before. I had no idea. And having to go through that healing and unlearning and relearning during law school truly has made me a better person. And honestly, I don't know where I would be had I not gone through all of those things to be where I'm at today. And I don't think I would be that person had I not come to this school. If I would have gone to law school in Miami or anywhere else, I don't think I would have faced the same challenges that I did. Definitely would have gone through them, some of them in a similar way probably, just because the way that things were triggered, the healing process was triggered for me, would have happened anywhere. But I think the exact way that it happens, and that's why they say hindsight is 20/20, and that everything happens for a reason, because looking back, you just realize so many different things about yourself and about the world and the people around you and the systems that are surrounding you and in place in the world we live in. And I'm just really grateful for that opportunity. and the opportunity to grow and heal and evolve and become the best version of myself, a better version today than I was yesterday, and hopefully a better version tomorrow than I am today. Not hopefully, I will be. Because I'm committed to doing the work. And, we all have our good days and our bad days. We all have our ups and downs, but they serve a better purpose, a bigger purpose. And that's where I'm at in life. Just looking at the bigger picture, looking at the purpose for everything that I'm doing. Why am I doing it? And making sure everything I do fits in that why and that purpose. And if it's a gut feeling that I should or shouldn't do something, listening to that gut feeling. And I've been having a gut feeling for the last few months that 2022 is going to be my year. And every couple days something happens that just reaffirms that gut feeling. So I know. And with all of that, 2022 is the year that I graduate law school, and it's a really bittersweet. It's truly a bittersweet moment. It's a bittersweet time in my life, in all of our lives, definitely all of my classmates. One of my classmates and I got into a conversation about this at the bar on Thursday night. It's definitely bittersweet because we've worked so hard to get here, 20 something years of schooling to get here. And that's it. It's all coming to an end in 4 months. And that's insane. Bar exam not included. We're going to pretend that doesn't exist for the sake of this podcast. But yeah, it's really bittersweet because we've worked so hard to get here. It's been 20 something years of school, our whole lives, and that's it. And then we're off into the real world, and we're adults for real this time, and responsibilities, and we have to go out in the real world and make our own money and, make our own friends. Our classmates aren't our de facto friends anymore. Our coworkers will be, to some extent. Or if you're an entrepreneur, the people that you surround yourself with in your business, your mentors, those are your friends. But it's not the same as college and high school and law school, of any grad school, where your cohort, your classmates are your people. You've gone through the same things, you get it, and you won't have that anymore. And that's just really a weird thing to think about. And I've had a lot of issues with the people in my class. I've had a lot of struggles with friendships in my life, but particularly in law school. But they are still my classmates, and I don't think I would have been able to do it without them. And, I almost had the opportunity to come to law school the year before I did. I could have, had I not failed math twice. I could have come to law school a year earlier. Don't know if I would have chosen the same path and the same law school had that happened, but I digress. I could have gone to law school a whole year earlier. And again, hindsight's 2020, but I don't think I would have, I'm glad it was the people that I went through it with, because they taught me a lot about myself and about people. And I'm really grateful for that. So, and then the other part that makes it bittersweet is just that, I never thought I would get here. I never thought I would be here. It's a really big momentous occasion for anybody. But for me, it's just a sign that, I am capable. I am strong. I am, I'm capable. I can do it. I could do it. I can do it. I did it. I will do it. I will graduate. I'm going to get my JD. And I'm going to be a lawyer. And that I'm getting chills just saying that and thinking that, because truly, I am so grateful, and I'm so damn proud of myself for that accomplishment. And, if you have struggled with mental health issues at any time, or are currently struggling, just know that I'm with you. I get it. I'm here for you. I understand. Please reach out to me if there's anything I can do. Please let me be a friend for you. Seek therapy if that's something that you are interested in. I think everyone should go to therapy. It's a beautiful thing. It's hard work, but It's the work, and it is so, so important and so beneficial, and I'm so grateful for it. But yeah, just, if you are in school or starting out your career and you're struggling with mental health, I understand how difficult that is. It's difficult enough to be in grad school or college or high school or school in general, and or to be starting your career. It's really difficult to be in our early 20s, mid 20s, to go through life and to be doing all of that also with a mental illness, mental health struggles. That is a tremendous feat, and I'm so proud of you. We did it. We can do it. We are doing it. We are capable. We are strong. We are incredible people. And I'm really proud of you, and I'm really proud of us for being able to do that. And yeah, didn't mean to get so intense there, but the podcast mic is like therapy for me too, and it's just how I'm feeling. So I wanted to talk about what law school has taught me so far. And there's so much that law school has taught me so far, but I think with everything I've been saying, you can really see the evolution and the growth in me as a person. And that is one of the biggest lessons that law school has taught me so far, is that I am capable, I am strong, and I am, I'm a really incredible person for being on this journey and choosing to do all of this because it serves a bigger purpose in my life. And, law school has taught me that you need to have a purpose, you need to have a why, you need to have a reason for doing what you're doing. Because if you don't, then you're kind of just aimless, and it could be really hard to find the motivation and the discipline to get up every day, even on your bad days. And we all have them, whether we struggle with mental health or not, to get up and do the work and do what you need to do, and do what you get to do. And I think that's a big mindset shift too. You don't have to do this, you get to do it. And I get to go to law school, and I get to help people, and I get to inspire people, and I get to learn, and I get to network, and I get to do all of these things. And I think, law school has really taught me that I get to do this. I am capable, I am strong, I am doing it. And, I get to do it because not everyone has the opportunity to come to law school, whether it's financial, whether it's, academics, for whatever reason. Not everyone gets the chance to be here, and I'm really grateful that I got the chance to be here, and that I get to have the chance to be here, and I get to do this, because I wouldn't be who I am today if I didn't have that opportunity. And with that, just timing, that I get to do it right now, 2019 to 2022, those are the years that I have been and will be in law school. And I started law school pre-COVID, which is hard to imagine a world before COVID at this point, because it's upended so many things, and it's been going on for such a long time. But I started law school pre-COVID, and it's crazy just how much the world around me has changed, how much law school has changed, how much I have changed. And I'm really grateful that I got to come to law school at that time, and just really being grateful for timing and the way things work out. That's something else that law school has taught me. And these all kind of go together, but it's just, law school has really taught me just a lot about myself, but also people, that not everyone is raised the way you are. Not everyone has the same backgrounds as you, and that's okay. But what's not okay is that some people are just hell-bent on misunderstanding you, but you just have to get through it. You just have to kind of deal with it and move forward, and just know that you're doing the damn best that you can. And if that person doesn't want to understand you, doesn't want to reason with you, then there's nothing you really can do about it. And it's unfortunate because I'm not a people pleaser by any means, but especially for people who are, it's definitely difficult. But you want people to like you inherently, and you want to help people understand and get what you're saying and get your point across. But there's just some people that won't and can't, whether because they're choosing not to or because their experiences, their background don't allow them to. And that's something I really learned coming to law school. I had known that, high school, college, but really coming to law school reinforced that and highlighted it, because I was born and raised in a very diverse, multicultural city. I come from a diverse background. I'm the child of immigrants, firstborn in this country. Spanish is my first language. And then I came to a place where I'm a very, very small minority of people. And it was just a culture shock. And I had experienced a culture shock once before, moving to Orlando, Florida for college. And that prepared me 100% for coming to law school in Tennessee. Absolutely, without a doubt, Orlando prepared me, because there was a lot of people hell-bent on misunderstanding me there, or just they couldn't fathom me or my experiences and what I brought to the table for whatever reason. But law school really taught me that people are just going to be hell-bent on misunderstanding you sometimes, and there's, just protect your peace and move forward. And I wish I would have learned that a lot sooner, because it would have saved me so much heartache and so much stress and crying and, really dark times in my life. But, we live and we learn. But yeah, that's one of the biggest lessons I think I've learned, is that, some people are just not going to get it, not going to get you, and that's okay. But that goes to a lot about what I learned about people. And, also I learned a lot about the world. Just that, the world isn't always a kind place, but that lo que es para ti, nadie te lo quita. What's for you, no one is going to take that away from you. And everything truly does happen for a reason. No matter how hard you work, if it's not meant for you, sometimes it's just not going to happen. And if by any chance it's not for you, but you get an opportunity and you think you love it and you start out at that opportunity, and then you realize while you're there that you don't really love it, or that, for whatever reason, like you don't want to be there anymore, that's the universe telling you that that's not for you, even though you thought it was. And you just have to pivot and keep pushing, keep moving forward. And COVID taught us that for sure. Being in law school during COVID definitely reinforced that. But just, in law school, there's something called on-campus interviews. It's how a very small percentage of each law school class gets their summer jobs that could potentially lead to associateship positions at law firms post-graduation. It's one of the entryways into a big law firm. And big law meaning like one of those national firms, the top dollar, the big dogs. On-campus interviews, OCIs, that's how it works. But it's for a very small percentage of people, which law school does a good job of emphasizing that it's for a select few of people, but they do a really bad job of putting us all through the meat grinder to compete for those positions. And my law school is actually very, very friendly and collaborative and not super competitive compared to other law schools, but it's definitely, still part of that meat grinder mentality for sure, particularly when it comes to OCIs. But, I didn't have the grades for my OCIs my 1L spring. my grades from 1L fall going into OCI is my 1L spring. I didn't have the grades. But for some reason, which I know the reason, it's because he remembered me. I left a good impression. He is now a judge. But this attorney at the time, he remembered me from a presentation several months prior where I made an impression. And even though the recruiter turned down my application because my resume, my GPA wasn't good enough for their entry standards, but I had a good resume and he remembered me. So he invited me in. I literally got an email saying, sorry, we're not extending you an invitation to interview with us. And then 2 days later, actually, they changed their mind. They do want to interview you, but there's 2 slots available. Are you able to make it? And thankfully I was, but I would have skipped class to make it because this was my chance. This is the universe telling me, maybe this could be for you. So I went to the interview, very nervous. I've interviewed a bunch of times. I can talk to an adult, no problem. I'm really good at connecting with people. I later learned this about myself, and we'll get to that in a second. But, I was nervous because there was a reason why they changed their mind. And I was nervous about that. What was the reason? And now I know it's because I left an impression on him because he told me. But at the time I was like, I don't know why did they change their mind? What's happening? So I walk into the interview and, niceties. Hi, how are you? How are you doing? How's school? Blah, blah, blah. How was your winter break? How are OCIs going? That kind of thing. And then, tell me about yourself. I tell them about myself, elevator pitch, great. And then they look at my resume again, and then they're like, I see that your GPA is not on your resume. Why is it not on your resume? And if you have watched my IG live from a couple days ago on networking and my other one on why grades shouldn't define us, then you may already know this answer. But, I don't want people to look at my GPA and say oh, she's, she doesn't meet the threshold. I'm just going to discard her application. Not good enough. Okay, bye. No, I want you to get to know me for me. I want you to look at my resume, be curious enough to ask me for an interview, and get to know me as a person before you make a determination about me based on a number that isn't the full accurate representation of who I am and what I'm capable of, because law school does a really good job of forgetting that we have lives outside of law school, and that's another lesson I've learned, and I'll get to that in a moment. But just, he gave me the opportunity to explain myself, and he was really impressed with my answer and the way that I gave it. And he was like, that's ballsy, but I like it because it's so true. And it takes balls for you to recognize that and know that with conviction. And, let's stay in touch. I want to help you out. And I'm really, really grateful for that opportunity because, he took a chance on me. He never hired me. He made no promises. He said he couldn't hire me that year, but to check back in for the following year, and no promises, but he will look at my application. And that year came and went, having COVID happen and my grades not improving because we lost a whole semester of grades going past fail to make up for the pandemic, that kind of thing. My grades didn't improve, so I didn't reach out to him for a job, even though I could have. But I did reach out to him. And I said, my grades aren't where I want them to be, COVID, permitting, blah, blah, blah. But I really appreciate you wanting to stay in touch with me. And, I look forward to working at a law firm this summer. And, I hope that I see you sometime in the future when you're visiting the school again, and let's catch up. And, I know the next semester is going to be better, and I'm looking forward to sharing the results of that with you. And he said, thank you. So good to hear from you. Thank you for the update. Totally understand. It's unfortunate, but it happens. And, I can't extend to you an offer, but let's stay in touch. Keep I like these updates. Let's keep me updated. So every semester I would keep him updated, and we have become really good friends. And he is now a judge in Memphis. And he was at the firm before that is my favorite firm in the region, that if I were to join a firm up here, that is the firm that I want to be at. But he has since left and become a judge. And actually my best friend's working at that firm, funny enough. But he wrote me a recommendation for my bar application. You know, staying in touch with him, it was meant to happen. The universe put me back in that interview spot for that friendship to form. And I'm so grateful that that happened. And, you know, if it's for you, it's for you. No one can take that away from you. It's meant to happen. And I'm really grateful for that friendship. He has become a really great mentor, really great friend, and someone who truly wants the best for me and is excited to hear from me and wants to know what I'm up to and how he can help. And, you know, even though I'm leaving Tennessee, I'm really grateful that I know him, that I met him, and that he will be a colleague of mine, and, you know, a fellow alumni, and that we get to share that title together. It means the absolute world to me. So, biggest lesson, if it's meant for you, it's gonna happen. No one's gonna take that away from you. And talking about grades and networking, you know, grades aren't everything. And law school does a really good job of emphasizing grades and this number and these metrics that are so arbitrary. And even if you want to argue that they're not arbitrary, they're just unfair because they don't take into account all the other things that are going on outside of the classroom and outside of that, not even the classroom, outside of that exam. And, you know, there's so many factors. Law school does a really good job of forgetting that we have lives outside of law school, that it's not just what happens in the classroom and that exam and doing the readings that night and highlighting and case briefs and moot court and law review and all of these things, these prestigious memberships and teams and programs, opportunities. We are so much more than that. Life happens. Life can happen, and life did happen to everyone with COVID, but mental health happens. You know, not my situation, but people lose family members. There's a death in the family, an accident, people get sick, people have babies, you know, marriages end or people get married, or, you know, there's so many millions of things, something with their house, like devastating accident, a storm, a tornado, a hurricane, a flood. There's literally snowstorms. Like there's so many things that could happen. Life can get in the way. And law school forgets that. They put so much weight on this one number, a score on an exam, and then averaging it together, and then they grade it on a curve, because law school is graded on a curve, and everyone falls on that curve in different levels, and you know, you're all graded against each other. It's really annoying, and I can go into detail about that, but I digress. Law school does a really good job of forgetting that we have lives outside of law school, and grades shouldn't define us because they don't take into account all of that. And you know, I didn't do great my entire first year of law school. I didn't do as great as I could have my second semester of law school, but I did significantly better. And my second semester of my 2L year, I did better than that year. And last year, I did my best semester yet. And I'm hoping to finish strong this year. I've significantly improved. My GPA does reflect that if you look at each semester individually, but if you just look at the end number, it doesn't show anything. But also just doesn't show that not only that I've improved, but that there was reasons why I've improved. My life has gotten a lot better, a lot clearer. You know, I've gotten stronger. I've removed toxic energy, negative people, bad situations from my life. That drastically improved my life. My outlook on life has changed. my focus has changed, my passions have changed. I'm looking at the bigger picture now. So many different reasons why grades shouldn't define us. And I've talked a lot about this in recent weeks on IG Live and Instagram, and I'm always happy to talk more about this. Please reach out to me if this is something you want me to talk about. I talk about this a lot. I've talked about it with professors. I've talked about it with my mentees. I've talked about it with classmates, my family. It's something I'm really, really passionate about, and law school reforms are slowly starting to happen, and I'm hopeful for the future where, there's more reforms. And I don't know if grades will ever go away, but maybe that there's some other way to reflect that life happens sometimes, and it can get in the way. And just that our number on a test, our score on an exam, our score on the bar exam, our GPA does not determine whether we are going to be good attorneys, whether we are good people, because there's an ethics exam. It just doesn't it just doesn't mean that, we are going to be good or bad attorneys or good or bad people. It doesn't mean that. And there's so much more to us. And I'm really passionate also about not being put in a box. I hate being put in a box. If I'm being confined or being put in a box, I get antsy and honestly kind of aggressive because I hate it so much, and I like fighting, and it's just not a good look. I don't like being put in boxes, and that's what I feel like a GPA does. It puts us in a box or a pile, and I'm not okay with that. Get to know me as a person, then decide whether I'm fit for the job. Don't just do it based off of something that I can't fully control and that doesn't fully explain who I am. And with that, networking. That's the beauty of networking, is that even if your grades are not where you think they can be, and notice today where you think they can be, not where they should be, because life happens, and sometimes, it's just not it. And if it's meant for you, it will happen. And everything happens for a reason. So that lower GPA, that lower score, it's meant to teach you something. It's meant to tell you that you may need to prepare more the following exam, or that, outside influences are affecting your ability to perform, and maybe, if possible, remove distractions. So, networking is a really great way to balance that. Grades might not be great, but if you are really good at putting yourself out there and getting to know the right people, you will go so far. I want to argue even further than the people who have the best GPAs, because sometimes the people who have the best grade in the class may not be the most social people, may not have the best social skills, can't read the room, or other things like that, and they're not the people that people want to talk to and hang out with at midnight, 2 a.m., working on a big case, or go to happy hour with on a Friday, or, invite to their children's baby showers and their weddings, like that kind of thing. You want your coworkers to be your friends as well. You spend a third of your life with them at work. You want people that are fun and friendly and warm and inviting, and that's what networking can provide you. Getting to meet the right people, getting to be in the room where it happens, Hamilton reference, anyone, getting to meet the right kind of people. And that's the beauty of networking. And I did a whole IG Live on how to network, so definitely go check it out at the link in the show notes and in my bio on Instagram, not my bio, in my profile. But networking is such a beautiful tool, and I came into law school knowing that. Thankfully, my parents have both worked extremely hard to provide me and my brother an amazing life, and they have built a really great network for us to tap into. And my dad, from a very young age, has reinforced that in me, and I loved it. I've always loved it. 90% of jobs I've ever gone in my life, actually all the jobs I've ever had in my life, with the exception of my first 2 jobs ever in high school, were through networking. And law school just reinforced how important it is because, I wouldn't have had the opportunities that I've had since I've been in law school, honestly, without networking. Every job that I've gotten in law school has been through networking or because of people I know. Even my campus positions, I'm head representative of Barbary, the oldest and arguably one of the best bar exam preparation commercial companies that there is. Got that through my mentor. What else do I do? I'm president of LASA. Got it because I'm damn good at what I do and because I bring in a great network of people and resources, and I can bring together people, and I'm really good at that. And I'm sure I'm forgetting one, but I digress. Networking is really, really important. Law school reinforced that. And yeah, this episode's getting kind of long, so I don't want to ramble too much longer, but those are just some high level things that I've learned while I've been in law school, what law school has taught me so far, and just really the biggest takeaway from law school for me is just that if it's meant to be, it will be, and that, I got this. I am capable. I am strong. I can do it. I am doing it, and I will graduate. And my last thing that law school has taught me is just that, there's a bigger purpose, there's a bigger picture out there, and that this is just a tiny, tiny stepping stone into all the amazing possibilities out there for my future, and that this degree does not define me. It does not encompass who I am. It is not all that I am. And that it will allow me to be a better version of myself and continue expanding my repertoire, my skills, and my network, and put me in the right rooms and the right circles to make an impact and to make a difference and to inspire people and to help people, and that there's a bigger purpose out there. So even if we get caught in the minutia, we get caught in the little things, in the inconsequential, or in the drama, or just having a bad day, and we get caught up in that, and we spiral, because we tend to do that sometimes, and that's okay. Just gotta check yourself, pivot, move forward. Tomorrow's a new day. Tomorrow's a better day. But if we have a why for what we're doing, and we know the bigger picture, that we're just gonna keep pushing forward, and that it will happen the way that it's meant to happen. The lesson that I want people to take away from this episode is truly that law school doesn't prepare you to be a lawyer. Law school itself, the system of law school, the processes in place, the way law school is run itself doesn't prepare you to be a lawyer or even a good lawyer. It is at the end of the day a business. It is at the end of the day school, and they care about numbers and metrics and hitting the marks, and they place a lot of emphasis on those numbers. And it just doesn't mean, depending how you do in law school overall will not determine whether you will be a good lawyer. And law school is just a way to teach you how to think like a lawyer. That's why there's the Socratic method. That's why there's law school exams. We shouldn't get so caught up in law school and all of the minutia, because there's just so much more going on in your life while you're in law school. And it is a big deal. It is really important. We do need to prioritize it. Treat it like a job. It's got to be more than a 9-to-5, but treat it like a job and do your absolute damn best. But just because your best, given everything going on in your life and in the world, isn't what you expected it to be, or there's someone else that's doing better than you, doesn't mean that you will not be a good attorney and you will not succeed out in the real world. So I hope that this, this episode is truly helpful and inspiring and motivational among everything else. I really hope that, that comes across, that law school itself doesn't prepare you to be a lawyer. It's not the end of the world. It's just a stepping stone to where we want to go next. It'll get us to where we want to go. It'll give us opportunities. We have the amazing opportunity to be in law school, and it's going to provide us with an incredible amount of opportunities that not everyone gets if they don't go to law school and become a lawyer. And you know what? You're going to graduate. You're going to get through it. We're going to pass the bar, and we're going to be great lawyers and people and members of society. And I hope that truly this episode helps you and that comes across. And yeah, with that, just, bigger picture, so many things in the works for me that I cannot wait to share with you as they come about. I have been working at Rella now for 7 months, and it has been absolutely incredible. And I'm recording with Natalie in a few weeks to bring that episode to you about how I got my job at Rella and what I do and what Rella is and all of that. But you can check it out in the show notes and download the app now. It's free and it's an incredible tool. And I'm not biased because I work there, it really is, but also because I work there. Please download it. And it just means so much to be a part of that team and all that she has brought in my life, and that team has brought me professionally and personally. And I would not have that opportunity had I not come to law school, because while I've been in law school, I learned what I want out of life, what I want in my personal life, what I want in my professional life, what I want to do with my life career-wise and personally, and just realized, I want to be more than just a lawyer. Those 3 letters at the end of my name that I will have come September don't define me. They're not all that I am. There's so much more to me than Kayla Moran Esquire. And there's just so much more to me than any label that I put on myself or that others put on me, which don't put labels on me. I don't like it. I will fight you. I am me. I am Kayla Moran. I am all of that. And law school has really just taught me what Kayla Moran means, who Kayla Moran is, and I'm really damn proud of that girl. I'm really damn proud of the girl who walked into the University of Tennessee College of Law in August 2019 and didn't know anything, honestly, and all that she has learned since then, and the woman that she is becoming, that I am becoming. And I'm really damn proud of her, and I'm really damn proud of myself. And law school has just taught me so much about so much, but so much about myself. And I'm really glad that I get to share that with you guys. And I really hope, if you are also graduating from law school or grad school or college or high school this year, congratulations. I'm really proud of you. We did it. And if you are just beginning the journey, you got this. I am here for you. Please reach out to me. I hope that this helps you and that you take something from this episode. And I have chills as I'm saying this because I'm just so incredibly grateful also that I get to share it all with you here on the podcast and on my platforms. So I'm going to sign off. I have some editing of content to do, and I'm going to go to bed. And, really random, but the clinic in the law school has a water leak, so the whole building is closed tomorrow. So my classes are on Zoom, which means I get to sleep in a little bit, which I'm really happy about. But, since I get to sleep in, I might stay up and work a little bit more, but if not, I'm going to turn on my TV and just relax for a little bit. Honestly, it's been quite a while since I've watched TV, and yeah, I'm really glad that I get to share this with you guys and that I get to be a mentor and a friend and an inspiration for you guys. It truly, from the bottom of my heart, makes me so, so happy, and I'm so, so grateful. And yeah, if you like this episode, please leave a rating and review. Please subscribe to the show. Please share it with a friend. Tag us if you're listening on stories so I see it. And, leave a comment. Let me know what your favorite part of this episode was. And just thank you so, so much for being here with me. And I will talk to you guys next week.